Hello, and welcome to the Reverse Engineering Essentials course. We received a lot of feedback kindly provided by the students of our previous reverse engineering ransomware classes. Thank you for that. You mentioned that it would be best to see more explanation for the tools involved. That's why we created the missing manual of essentials that every reverse engineer should know. As the name suggests, we will cover only the Windows environment in this class, since it is by far the most used and abused. We will not only cover the tools being used in our previous classes, but include a lot more and try to provide a complete picture for the starting reverse engineer. There are always multiple ways to do a task. We will only insist more on why instead of how, since we consider that it's important for students to understand what we're trying to achieve and why. There are no prerequisites for this class other than a Windows virtual machine and the will to learn. All the tools discussed here are freely available online. With this in mind, let's see the topics that we will cover. Building a virtual environment, tools for static analysis, tools for dynamic analysis, and network events investigation. More on these on the next slide. Neither professional programming experience nor assembly language knowledge are required to benefit from the course, although they would be very helpful when we look at identifying encryption algorithms and bypass anti-virtualization checks. The concepts will be explained clearly and concisely, and additional resources will be recommended. Some programming experience will definitely be beneficial. However, the focus will be mostly on understanding the tools and their most useful features. When needed, source code will be provided written in either C or Python. To get the most out of this course, we recommended to exercise all the steps described within the lectures, and whenever a concept or idea is not fully explained or clearly understood, either reach out with questions on the Q&A section or consult online resources. Why take this course? Good question. Mostly because you like a practical malware analysis course focused on understanding the basic techniques and objectives we want to achieve through reverse engineering process. The aim of the course is to be useful and interesting to everybody involved in information security and malware analysis, from students to security testers and forensic investigators. These techniques can be applied not only to malware analysis, but any software in general that we want to understand how it works under the hood. If you decide you love reverse engineering and wish to further develop your skills, more resources will be suggested along the way. The course will explain how to use virtual machines, process monitoring tools, sandboxing tools, hex editors, debuggers, disassemblers, and network analysis tools. Most of the concepts and analysis strategies presented here apply to analyzing unknown software samples in general. Who is this for? This course is for anyone interested in information security in general and reverse engineering in particular, including, but not only, security testers, malware analysts, forensic investigators, system administrators, and information security students. Who this is not? This course is not an introduction to malware. It only focuses on reverse engineering and other analysis techniques. Although some explanations are provided to enable students to follow through, this is not a crash course on programming. Self-study is required for mastering the programming languages used throughout the class. Basic experience with assembly and programming languages will be very helpful because this is not an introduction to assembly. Although many tools and tricks are presented, this is not an exhaustive description of malware analysis techniques. Although it should be obvious, this is not a tutorial on how to crack software protection. What am I going to get? The lectures, videos, and other resources will provide you with relevant information about current reverse engineering techniques. You will learn how to confidently use any debugger and disassembler, static and dynamic analysis tools. You will get practical experience with all the tools discussed. Also, you will get all the Python C source code and IDA scripts used throughout the examples. And last but not least, you will learn foundation tools to progress to more specific and advanced reverse engineering courses, like our reverse engineering ransomware classes. Minimum requirements. At minimum, you will have a computer that can run a Windows virtual machine, an interest in disassembling things and understanding how they work, basic assembly knowledge about common assembly instructions, registers, and conditional branches, basic programming knowledge and ability to understand simple Python and C source code, patience and a lot of perseverance to try harder. Thank you, and see you in the next lecture.